How's everybody doing today? Doing well?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Good. I think it's
Living
supposed to
that
be
dream.
Jake is supposed to cuddle with me. And everybody else is where they belong now. Cool. We good now. Awesome.
I don't have the stream open, so I couldn't even see.
No, you're good. I had things scrambled and it was Regicide that was up, not you guys, but it's all good. So well, Messi is in both games. Oh, he is. Yeah. So what's up, guys? How you doing? Doing well?
Yeah. I said earlier, just finished school for this semester. So got like a week and a half till summer semester starts.
You know what I haven't finished yet? This most recent episode of a Rothian podcast or
It was
spoiler
long.
cast or whatever the hell it's called. It is. I won't lie. I'm halfway through the Warmonger part. It's so funny. Like I like Steve and Vance and them to have good chemistry together. But their best chemistry is when they have a guest on that has a fresh take. And then you and Ano also have like a really good chemistry together. So just kind of like the you and Ano almost verse Steve and Vance. And like it was really good. And Jake, I don't know if you listened to it or not. I'm not going to make you blow up your spot if you don't or whatever. But the Warmonger one, the first, because if you're on YouTube, you can just jump to where it says, it's like, it's noted for you. The first like third of the Warmonger one, you should totally listen to for the most recent episode because they have a lot of questions for you and things that you could totally clarify in for them. Because they actually had a lot of questions about your character's backstory and whatnot and the implications that could happen for stuff. So there's actually a lot of stuff important to specifically Varix. It was funny because they finally go through all this stuff pertaining to Warmonger and all this stuff pertaining to Varix, and they go, Kushibashi didn't do this because it was too expensive. And then they used to go, all this stuff for Shado. It was like...
That's all that happened, though. For Kushibashi.
We're
I
fiscally responsible.
I sat there and remembered what happened for Nick's Kingdom. I'm like, oh, yeah. He wanted to do Edict. That was 2d4 BP. Or 2d6. It was too expensive.
He's like, too rich for my blood. And got out hard. So... But either way, it was it's funny because I stopped listening to it for a while just because they stopped for a little bit and then they started back up again and I delayed to start. So I was like 3 episodes ago, which was a short one. I started listening to them. They listened to the last one. And then like, I forgot how much I thoroughly enjoy them because they're really funny. You know what I mean? Ano can go fuck himself like really hard. Like he can grab one of those nice Trump images that were posted. No lube, just go to town. He deserves it. Actually, attach it to a machine that can kind of, get it going for him. But that aside, it was really, really funny. So, oh, sorry, not for men. So it still works. It still works. Otto can still use it. Anyways,
He's Russian. It's kind of different.
yeah. Either way, so a little bit of a misnomer on how it was, as I was mentioned beforehand. The leadership thing was calculated, and so that kind of changes some of the stuff that you guys do with your militaries. So just to touch on that super fast, and don't want to, because we're not doing any armies this session anyways, are we? There's no combat this session?
Unless we want to invade this loser.
Nick?
I think we're waiting to see if
Oh, I
we
thought he
can
was
come
talking
up with a reason.
Gotcha. So if you open up a complete war, which, funny enough, the only one I don't have open is complete war. I restarted my computer and they all reopened except for that one. Give me one moment, please.
The leadership bonus is calculated in Ultimate Battle. How you get your number?
Actually, that's not. It's actually Ultimate War.
No, Ultimate War says use the following leadership bonus in lieu of the commander's normal bonus. The effects of the leadership bonus is described in Ultimate Battle.
Almost positive you are wrong. Give me 2 seconds.
I'm reading from the book.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm almost there. Battling an army.
I think both have the calculations, but what the calculations do.
Leadership bonus. So I'm in Ultimate War, PDF page 8, or book page 3 if you have a physical book. Leadership bonus. So this Jake, Nick, and Cell all pay attention to how this works out for your LB, and feel free to like write down your LB somewhere for your main characters. All I care about really right now, and Nick, obviously you can do one for Zara or whatever her name is as well. So a commander's leadership bonus, LB, is equal to +1 for every 5 ranks in Profession Soldier. I don't think any of you guys have 5 ranks in Profession Soldier, do you?
I do now.
5 ranks because you're level 5 and you put 5 ranks.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So there's +1. And mind you, this things like miscellaneous bonuses will not apply to this because of how big LB is now. So 5 ranks for a professional soldier. The caveat, so more or less, if you get that from magic items as opposed to actual experience, like real ranks, it's half the value, but that doesn't matter to you right now. So 1 for every 5 ranks. You also get an increased 1 for each of these following details. If you have a base attack bonus of +6, do any of you guys have that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should all.
You get a
Wait.
+1 for base attack bonus of +6. You get another one for base attack bonus of +11, which none of you guys have. And another one for base attack bonus +16, which none of you guys have. If you have a charisma modifier of +3 or greater, you have a +1. If you have a wisdom modifier of +3 or greater, you have one. If you have the leadership feat, or if you have skill focused profession soldier, you get to have one. You also gain a +2 if you are a PC, and a +1 if you are a important NPC. Important NPC would be NPCs like, say, your brother, more or less if they were made by a class feature, or by like Patreon or like the Hype Train bit, that would all kind of be fine for it. Other than that, they would have to be really tied into the story for why they would give you the bonus. So Nick, your leadership bonus is now what?
6.
So that +6 applies to all defense modifiers, offense modifiers, and morale checks for all roles that you do. Yeah. So if your character is leading any one of your little armies, instantly they're that much more powerful. Jake, what did yours just go to? A 4 maybe?
Mine, I think is only a 3. Though I have a feat which, because you remember how we were talking about orcs and the way with charisma and stuff like that. I have might makes right. Which
I would allow that to
strength.
apply. I would allow that to apply as instead of charisma, you use strength. That applies.
So
you get the +1.
that would be 4.
So you have 4.
4.
Yep. And that's where I expect it. And I actually expect Cell to be sitting at probably a 3. So Cell, you have 2.
No.
Go ahead. How do you get them?
Right.
2 from being a PC.
Yeah, 2 for being PC.
1 from Bab.
1 for Bab, and then 1 for charisma.
Charisma as well. Cool. So that means your commander, and again, you can imagine Nick's makes sense because he's actually the true like war leader of a war group. So that actually sits well with me that he has that. And it'd be difficult for him to get higher because the only way he can get more is by being level 10 and get more ranks in professional soldier that way, or at level 11 Bab, level 16 Bab. What's your wisdom, Nick?
That's a good question. I don't think it's very high. Let me check. Where did I park roll 20?
I think my brother has the same leadership score as me.
Well, because he's like insanely good. He probably has skill focus as
Which
well as
counts
the
as
ranks.
1.
Well, he
I
wouldn't have enough
actually-
ranks. Yeah.
He doesn't get
No,
the ranks. because
I have 5 ranks in profession soldier, and I get leadership 1 level early, so I technically have leadership right
You
now.
have a +7 then.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I got to look. And I think that also gives me bonuses. And there's also bonuses for being a cavalier in some books. So I got to see if they apply. Basically, this is what my class is meant to be. So
Yeah, well, exactly, which makes sense why your character is like almost double the value. So I'm going to recalculate that for you really quick. 5 ranks gives you 1. Bab of 6 gives you 1. Charisma of 3 gives you 1. Leadership feat gives you 1. And being a PC gives you 2. So that's 6. What's your wisdom modifier?
I'm looking right now.
And I don't think you have skill focused professional soldier.
Yeah, wisdom's only 10.
Oh, so you're not even anywhere near where you could easily beef that up either. That's too bad.
No.
So yeah, that means you actually do have a plus a 6, not
Plus
a 7.
6. Yeah.
Cool. All right, cool.
Yeah. My brother actually has 3 because 16 charisma, important NPC, and skill focus profession soldier.
Skill focused profession soldier. Important NPC. What else you say?
Charisma.
Charisma.
So,
Yeah.
so here's
So
here's
three.
the thing.
Okay.
We also got skill focus warlord, right? I would argue that would count like the skill focus profession soldier.
Well, hold on. Skill focused warlord is a profession warlord.
It says general. I'll throw it in. I'll roll it in roll 20.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Skill focused warlord. Oh, you got that as a half elf. Plus your knowledge checks with and this is skill focus. Is this knowledge warlord or profession warlord?
Let me see where I threw it in on the
Because
sheet.
warlord, that's knowledge of knowing about them, not necessarily your skills.
I thought the way Nick had it set up was instead of soldier, he had warlord.
That's
and that was
why
supposed to count
I'm
as
looking
that.
right now. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
So because there's knowledge warlord and there's profession warlord. Those are two very different
Yeah.
things. Knowledge warlord is this region's version of knowledge nobility, and profession warlord, which is what he has, he just changed the name of profession soldier. He already counted
the
that.
feed. The feed is in knowledge, but
Correct.
the 5 ranks I have are in profession.
Correct.
So,
So if that skill focus was for the profession, not for the knowledge, then I would agree with Nick, but it's not. It's for the knowledge. So those are two different things.
some bitch.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. Why did you do it for knowledge instead of profession? I don't know.
That's a good question. Probably because I never have any idea what the fuck I'm doing.
Well, to be fair, we also session 13 right now. We just discovered what the what the rules were for it because it's so complicated. But honestly, after having to do all this study, because we have something going on with Patreon, all members of Patreon get to vote for a stream I'm doing tomorrow night, pertaining to like an old campaign that ended. Hashtag RIP Jake. So the
Oh, okay. If you would count the +2 I get from Naito's war leader trait for being a half orc for his leadership.
I have to can you bloop that in chat? Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Hold on.
Well, it's because I would only say it because it particularly pertains to leadership and
yeah, it's Snaga. I'm pretty sure Leon is about to be significantly better at mass combat. Yeah. So 2 bonus in diplomacy and profession soldier checks, as well as to their leadership score. Armies that control mass combat get a +1 on morale only. Now I understand that this was created for the old rules, not the new rules, but I think by adding a +1 to morale is already pretty darn powerful. So, and you already have all those other features, the 2 to diplomacy, 2 to profession soldier, which is your initiative, and the bonus to leadership feat if and when they ever get it. So I think that's already good enough. Having it be a flat +1 would be, I don't know. We'd have to like shave some stuff off.
Also, anyone in chat, send me army tactics that you think are cool or other boons, because I still need to pick one for my brother.
Yeah. Figure out what you want.
I haven't figured it out. I'm gonna leave it blank for now.
And then last thing to note is that morale scores, your actual morale modifier, especially when you're making morale checks, it's actually a fluid number. It's all those things that you discussed being modifiers plus your current morale score. So if your morale score is currently like a 6 out of 10, you get that 6 counts as a +6 towards when you roll. But we can worry about that when we get to mass combat. Anyways, I wanted to point that out to show like how significant your characters really are. So listen, Josh. William already tried to make these jokes in like a siblings group text earlier, and I was like, you know that's false. Like I have years of videos proving that my forehead has never changed, and I even mentioned it to the girl that cut my hair earlier, and she said to me, first of all, these exact words, "Bro, your hair's thick as fuck." She said those exact words. But she also said, excuse me, I gotta answer this message from this cunt. I was like, where am I right now? I was at a Great Clips, and this girl called her boss a cunt. I was like, I'm a paying patron. So I tipped her $20 because she was awesome.
That's funny because 2 days ago, I went to get my haircut at a Great Clips.
Yep. No, did they also use that language, that foul language with you?
No, because we're in the South, so we're actually like really friendly with each other. But that's on the that's out on the face. Obviously.
Unless they're handing out
Oh, yeah,
water.
yeah,
But
yeah.
in
Oh,
fairness,
Ooh.
in fairness, Scott, you went to a place called Great Clips. You might as well have been getting great value Kool-Aid. All right, you're
All I gotta say is the
that's like
lady
going
that
to
did my
best
hair.
taste Chinese food. Get the fuck out of here. You know you're eating garbage right now.
The lady that did my hair gave me a recommendation to keep my hair better because it was bleached. Okay. So
I don't know. I don't. I like I said before. I don't because I don't use product. I don't wash my hair. Like I literally just like scrape my scalp with my fingers, and I don't use shampoos, conditioners, or product. So I'm just natural oils, baby. Natural oils does all the work for you.
can we roll for HP?
Fine, Cell. It's only been 3 sessions since you leveled up. I guess you could roll for HP.
We didn't say it to chat ever that we leveled up too. Which is
No, Josh. I just drop bombs left and right. I'm lactose intolerant and have lots of dairy.
I'm rolling because I'm a man. That was a good roll. Okay, take it.
Hey, chat. Don't forget you can make them re-roll if you toss them a.
I know. I don't want to reroll.
If you toss them a what is it? Aid of the Martyr, it gives them a re-roll.
Oh,
Wow, that was actually a really good roll, Nick. Kudos.
that wasn't Nick.
Oh, Jake, even better.
Yeah. Well,
No, that's actually super important for your character because you're supposed to be the tough guy. Kudos.
Yeah. Thank you.
50
Yeah, I'm gonna roll terribly. So
Well,
we'll,
I mean-
we'll watch this shame happen.
All right, guys, get your Aid of the Martyr ready. We need 4 of them to get Nick through.
Nick, you can hit the hit points button on your character sheet to do it.
Yes.
Oh, can I?
Yeah, and
yeah.
it factors everything for you.
Gotcha.
I got
Hey, Magoo, are you gonna make that emote? Oh, with the little head. Oh, somebody already gave Nick a reroll. Oh my God, Norway!
Wait. Do you have a D8 hit die as a cavalier?
I gotta check. Oh man, I just hit the HP one.
Go
Oh
to
my god.
configuration. Configuration, hit die, change it to a D10. I think that's what yours is, right?
Yeah, I have to.
So
Why does
this
it
is
say
just-
D8? Yeah,
It's
alright.
defaults D8.
Oh no! It might be D8 because that's
It-
where. Yeah, he didn't change it over there exactly.
So he gets
Okay,
a
good.
reroll anyway.
And I'm confirming it as a 10, so he gets a reroll.
That's,
Oh my god. Well, at least we got that out of the way, right? Practice run. Holy shit.
Okay, well, you're
All right,
welcome to
all
reroll
right.
now. Because it's below average. You're welcome to reroll because Norway gave it to you.
All right. I will re-roll. Do I get to keep the?
You keep the newest roll.
I
Jesus.
wouldn't do it, Nick. I wouldn't do it.
And, I gotta take
Nick, just
Norway's,
roll. Just roll.
generosity.
It's all good.
I hate you, Scott.
You shouldn't do it. You rolled literally average.
Yes. Oh my God.
We can't luck it, Xylemos. It's HP.
Does anybody else want to give Nick a reroll? I mean, the poor
Yes.
boy needs it. The poor
You're
boy
so
needs
cruel.
it. Oh, I love it so much. It makes me happy.
I'll take that. I got to roll
All
for
right,
Nabu too. though.
Norway gave you another one. Very sweet,
Oh,
Norway.
Norway. What a guy.
Did I ever roll for Naito's HP?
Hi, Lundane. Miss you, buddy. Good, Coochie. Don't worry, Lundane gave you one as well. So
This is
it's
a fucking joke. Oh my god.
no, this
Nick,
is how Neil rolls, and that's where he
You got to be
sits.
fucking kidding me.
it's impressive.
I don't understand.
Roll
I
again.
think you fucked with my dice. That's what I'm trying to think.
There you go.
17th time's the charm. All right.
Apparently.
Now, does anybody want to give Cell?
I rolled above average.
Does anybody want to give celery roll?
I refuse. I will not. I rolled above average. So don't. You're wasting
If
the
Anna was
money.
here, he would do it. Anna would do it for me, but he's sleeping.
I get to roll for my brother though. So I think I didn't do it. Yeah. So
All right. Oh boy.
Naito HP roll, boys. Hopefully it's not low.
Cool.
It's an 8.
Oh, that's pretty good. And we can leave it alone at that, of course. All right. Any other last second details to go over? Oh, and then the
Yeah.
other thing was, boys, when it comes to raising an army, obviously for your first armies, I was trying to be as forgiving as possible as I was read through the rules. But as a reminder, to properly raise an army, it actually takes, assuming you succeed in the leadership check, it's an entire month, assuming you succeed, and you pay double the cost of the whatever the number is in BP, and then to properly train your army is double the cost again. And if you fail that, they're still not done being trained yet. You know what I mean? So actually raising armies is
How much
insanely
BP
expensive.
is that?
A lot. If you're doing big armies, a lot, because you're generally speaking going to be going against smaller groups. So like if you have a group coming against you that's very large, usually that's something you're not going to be doing. So one of the things I like to do, I'm doing, I should say, is and this is happening in Valorant as well with how I'm handling it over there, is that you have your initial army or armies that you've made, you've named, so on and so forth. These armies, because they already exist, they've already been raised and trained, if you will. You don't have to pay to re-raise them at full value or to retrain them, but you do still have to pay their ACR to raise them again. So let's say, for instance, Jake, what was the ACR of the army you raised before?
7.
So you would have to pay 7 BP to raise that army again, unless it was a standing army, if you had them in reserves. If you're paying the...
Well, that's what I have them at the moment, right? So I'm only paying consumption for them at the moment.
And how many are they?
100. There's 100.
So 100 soldiers costs... Hey, Zalamos. Thanks for all the luck. 100 soldiers costs 1 consumption of BP a month. That's it.
Mhm.
Or any amount...
Yep.
It's any number of soldiers from 1 to 100 costs 1 BP, 101 to 200, 2 BP, so on and so forth. So now, Jake, for you, then you never pay that raising bit. Instead, when they go active, you start paying the active consumption for them, which that's a different factor, right? So you're actually good there. Yes, Sal.
If I wanted to increase my army from 50 to 100, would I just have to raise 50 troops and then I just combine the armies? If I had a 50 standing army.
Yeah, if you wanted to, but mind you, raising them again could take like up 2, 3, 4 months, depending on how poorly you roll, or it could be like 2 months if you roll very well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Because that's important to note for.
Because you usually want to have armies trained and then set in reserve, so you kind of like get them ready in the downside. Now, mind you, having militia go out and fight, you can easily do. If you just raise an army and send them out, that's militia. They're way weaker, so on and so forth. They go based off stats of like commoner versus warrior or soldier or fighter. You know what I mean? So that's where your ACR is like way less, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's whole maths for that. But you don't want to work with militia. You want to work with, of course, armies. So Nick, same idea for you. I imagine your armies right now are on reserve. So you'll be paying the appropriate amounts. Now, mind you, it doesn't matter how you divide them. If Jake says, I have one army of 100 soldiers, that's 1 BP or consumption a month, right? Whereas if Cell's like, I have 50 armies of 2 soldiers, same cost. Same exact cost. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
You're paying for the number of soldiers, not the size of the army.
Correct. Exactly. It's not the size, it's the way you use it. No? Cool. Awesome. You can give a reroll to Nabu. Absolutely. Anything PC related. Anything class feature related. So if it's their class, or if it's like Tesla's brother or his animal companion, yes. But like Jake doesn't have anything currently that does that. So
It feels so dirty to call my brother a class feature.
Is Nabu getting a reroll? People are being real nice right now.
did you hear that from the girl cutting your hair too, Scott? I'm not sure what you said. What are you talking about there?
It's the
Zymos
way
gave
you
you
use
an
it.
8 of the martyr. Oh, haha. Nick, you can reroll Nabu's health.
Literally can't roll worse.
But you can roll the same.
Fuck you, Cell. You just cursed me.
Poor Xylemos.
You got
That's
this. It's a perfect 10. Wait, it's a 2.
Well, no, remember what chat says, trumps what,
You rolled Naren's health, not Nabu.
Rolled the wrong one.
yeah,
Rolled the
okay,
wrong
okay,
one.
that's why. Wait, why is it still oh, because Nabu has a +3, that's why.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, that's much better.
Oh man, this and I'm pretty sure I have kingdom rolls this session too. This is not boding well.
You rolled how many hit dice? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, there is an additional aid. There was an additional aid rolled. Why don't we have Celery roll his health just in case?
No.
All right, then for funsies, roll it. You don't have to take it. I'm just curious what it comes in as.
Okay. It's the same. It's the same number.
Okay, cool. Any other details since we should we get into our podcast hour now since we were super productive for the first half hour?
Should I recap what happened on Warmonger?
I guess we can keep being productive.
So last session on Warmonger, Varix destroyed all of Scott's hopes and dreams by murdering the boar twice, with basically no difficulty. And then you got told he wasn't a part of the Barrenlands by a bunch of cat people with lamos. And Varix basically told him to fuck off. And then we did our ambassadors. They met Varix. Nyx is hilarious. Mine is less that, but he's useful. Nick did nothing. And then Tassel went into the volcano with the salamanders with Tick Tongue and a couple soldiers and left them at the surface. And, I almost got killed by a salamander probably a couple times. And then, you guys play 18 Fortune's favors, and I've made a deal with the salamanders to, I basically protect them from greedy assholes on the surface, and they don't, erupt the volcano on me. And, maybe we'll make arrangements so we can mine some of the minerals there and make trade. That is to be determined. It's about what happened. And now we're getting right into, I think, my kingdom rolls. Unless Scott wants to do anything else.
Actually, your kingdom rolls. Yes, I think we're going right into. Yes, I believe you're correct. I think that's exactly where we were going with your kingdom rolls. Now, you were the one that was dealing with the gibbering mouthers, right?
Wrong side of the planet. That's it's over there.
I know. I'm just excited to ruin their game. Okay. So I have to get that all set up right there.
Yeah, Xylomus, the eruption's going to be used to make a defensive platform for my new capital.
You mean offensive, right?
Defensive.
Directed at Clint
No.
Steele, I thought was your plan until you just got chewed out on the podcast.
That was never my plan. Right? I've never made that as my plan.
What are you talking
Jake
about?
already heard
it's
the
all in our
podcast.
chat. That's
No.
Jake already listened to the podcast.
He got the memes.
He already knows.
He memed me in the chat in the Aurorum community.
So Nick, you don't understand. He got lit up 17 times for being a slave lord.
It's not true.
And then he tried to turn on the diplomacy, tried to turn on the charm to convince them. Well, we all know that's a meme, right? That's not really. Clearly, it's not really a thing. And it did not work at all. It did not work at all. Anna was like, "Hey, this attempt, shut it down."
Because so I said I don't know how the economy works in fucking our kingdoms.
You're like, yeah. He's like, I'm sorry, I don't have office jobs for you, so I can just skip a couple of tech levels. I'll be right on that.
Yeah. I said that because there's not modern wage labor in the medieval times.
That was so good, that part where you were talking about paying. You're like, they don't get paid.
I said I don't know.
Instantly.
I said I don't know if they get paid.
Oh my god!
I said they get whatever.
That's great. I basically just heard you're basically just like, yeah, we don't have wage slavery yet. We just go with the original, right? Just stick with what works. It's easier math, right?
I assume
one meal a day and a roof over their head. All right.
I assume my state provides food, housing, and equipment to do the job, and then pays them extra to buy some other non-necessities, right? So they get enough to buy clothing and whatnot, right?
Yeah. My state does that too for Walpole State Penitentiary.
But they're not forced, okay? I fucking hate everyone. Anyway, I'm gonna roll my upkeep phase, okay?
You know what's really funny? Talking about railroad stuff real quick. You guys know that I've talked about it a million times. I work with some like hardcore right wing people. So like I'm on Twitter and I scroll through like left wing Twitter, and it talks about like how because nobody's getting jobs right now because of XYZ pertaining to Corona, that like companies for the first time ever are not paying slave wages. They're actually paying proper wages. Like McDonald's offering $18 an hour for just like a basic entry level job, so on and so forth. It's like, oh my god, this is amazing. All we had to do was more or less do like a nationwide strike. You know, like back in the old days of like Labor Day. Like when May 1st used to be Labor Day and all that, to make them actually treat us decently. And then I work with, again, right-wing people, and they're on right-wing Twitter, and they're like, oh, wow, all these jobs are so starved for employees, they're finally willing to hire the long-blue-haired weirdos. And so it's just so funny to see, like, we're like, yeah, wages. And they're like, look, these fucking idiots are finally getting positions. I'm just like, oh, my God. It's so funny seeing the contrast between the two.
So I've already done my consumption.
Well, how dare you just skip past what I was talking about like it never happened, Cell. Wow.
So I did my consumption.
Wow.
The next step
You failed. Look at that.
I didn't.
I see you rolled a 31. Do you want to luck it?
I rolled a 38.
Go ahead, Cell.
Wait,
I actually don't have you up yet. Give me 1 second to look at what
I already minus my rest. I took my consumption down, and I left one for other, for my maintenance of my army. I had to pay 2 because I used bows, which cost my consumption.
At some point, we need to recalculate the bonuses we give each other as well.
You have to make sure that you calculate. So I did this over in Hod Gwen, where I calculated off to the right, just like how much I get from each. That way we don't accidentally. So like if Cell is and Nick are adding to Jake should not factor them into what he then gives back to Cell and Nick. His own personal should be it's like his own GDP should, you know. So
that's how we did it, wasn't it?
I don't know if you have them written off to the side.
No, we didn't.
I don't have it written off to the side, but that's how we did it. Yeah.
So make sure you have it written off to the side so you can clearly differentiate.
So this is how we did it.
I'm going to try to bring these visible for you in a moment.
We combined each other's numbers together and then just did them one divisor, right? We didn't divide for each of them. So for me, we added both Jake's and Nick's economy and then divided it by whatever number it was.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And that's what we did for our stability as well. For the alliance,
you did like a cool combination one because I think that was it was worse for one person but better for two, and overall
it was worse for me because my nation was the best.
Wow.
Well, it's just true.
Yeah,
I had
that
better
ridiculously high economy, especially.
My economy is 37 right now.
All right. So I'm pulling up Cell over here so everybody can see it. There you go, chat. Sorry about the wait. So so just to be clear, what you already did. You rolled against your control DC, brought your unrest from 1 down to 0, correct?
Yes. I paid my consumption.
You paid your consumption, which was only 1, which is pretty amazing. You want to try to bring that to negative so you can support larger armies too. And then I'm pulling up the upkeep phase as well.
So
I usually load this up during the podcast hour. 1 second.
Trying to get our kingdom rules done. Trying to hit it.
I'm sorry. I understand you're trying to be productive.
I know. I feel very productive today. Okay, my brain's going.
All right, and I'm good now. So you paid your consumption. You don't have to do anything else. And that magic items. You have any empty slots?
Nope. I need to remember what the other one was, but I don't have any empty slots.
Okay, cool. Then you're going to assign leadership roles. I don't think you have any leadership positions to fill at the moment.
None that I want to do.
Cool. Now it's about claiming hexes and whatnot. Let me just look at where you are. So Nick, you probably did not hear this because this was actually discussed a bunch inside spoilers chats and on the call. This actually impacts you very heavily and impacts him very heavily. Jake, it kind of impacts. You do not need to prepare land before you build on it unless it's a settlement. So you want to build a sawmill over there, and you've got that 4-month ticker off in the top left, that right-hand corner area. That's actually not true. If you're building a settlement, so therefore a building, which I think you want to do, isn't there like a specific building you're trying to put there anyways?
Sawmill. Or a lumberyard, I get it.
A lumberyard, which I think has to be inside of a town, right?
No, it's an ultimate rulership. It's a tile improvement, I'm pretty sure.
Can you double check that cell real quick, just so
Yeah.
we can be sure? So Nick, that being said, you don't have to wait the 2-3 months, whatever it is, and you don't have to pay that like 4 BP costs to do that. So assuming that that's a tile improvement and not a something that you have to do inside of a settlement, we can actually give you back that 4 BP for that most recent purchase to prepare the land. And you can actually start building that thing on there immediately as per your last kingdom turn, as opposed to this upcoming one, meaning you're one step closer towards having your lumberyard there. He's checking for you right now.
It's a sawmill, I think, is what we're doing. Not a lumber-
Sawmill and a lumberyard are two different things.
Yeah, lumberyard is like the foundry,
Correct.
which I don't think you'd want to put a city there. Sounds like a bad spot.
I actually think he wants to have... Nick, do you have to have a lumberyard within a proximity? Like, what's the proximity the lumberyard has to be?
I can tell you. It says the cost to construct a sawmills in the settlement's hex or adjacent hexes is reduced to 2 BP. In addition, sawmills in those hexes generate 1 additional BP for every 2 sawmills. If a sawmill is adjacent to 2 settlements with lumberyards, only 1 may benefit.
Well, hold on. That sounded like only the sawmill inside that hex gets it. I think you mean that hex and all adjacent ones, so the honeycomb gets it, right? Just like the
Yeah, I
what?
said or adjacent hexes.
Oh, you said that in the earlier part, but the latter part, but that's fine. I get it. I thought that's what you meant. So so Nick, the big question would be, are you building a settlement there specifically to have a lumber yard so you can go actually, I don't think you wanted to build a settlement there. I actually wanted to build a settlement one up, like north. Like, here, let me ping it for you. I think this is actually where you wanted to build a settlement because it was that much deeper into the woods, so you could be surrounded by woods for the honeycomb effect, right?
Or theoretically here, because this is a tile that is safe for his people.
It may be safe, but I understand what you're saying, safe for his people. But yeah, you're right. You're probably right there. I understand you need safe, but obviously can't use this one. But safe is probably, and it looks like I actually can't see. I'm not looking at that map right there. Hold on, let me look at this one because I can see more. Because I don't want to misspeak. Yeah, so you can see from here that this one is. So yeah, Nick, most likely you'd be sacrificing 1 out of your 7-point honeycomb. You wouldn't be able to build a sawmill there. Okay, so why don't you add? So Nick, are you building a settlement there or just a sawmill?
Why don't we just start with a sawmill here,
Cool.
and then we'll eventually probably build a settlement there. But we'll get 1 sawmill up and going.
How much is a sawmill, and how long does it take to construct? Look that up, Nick, and I think it's a complete rulership.
No, it's just normal. It's 3 BP and it's just 1 month, like a mine.
No. That's in the normal book, but in complete rulership, I think they made it just a little bit longer, didn't they?
I don't think they do anything with terrain improvements in ultimate rulership. I could be wrong.
Because that would mean that his is fully up and running right now with how I'm trying to retcon this for him. And I'll approach you boys in a second. So
You said that was a rulership?
Yeah, I don't. There's nothing. Yeah, ultimate rulership doesn't have anything on.
so even forts, which forts are, because like forts are huge. Forts definitely take time because Jake just took a long time to build a fort.
A fort might take a fort in a watchtower might take its same time as it would in the city, but a sawmill.
But a fort
is
doesn't take
independent
time.
of that.
A fort doesn't take time in a city.
The way I did it, it was 2 turns to do it to turn it into a watchtower, and then it was 2 turns to upgrade it into a fort.
I think we did the logical math. So because a fort was, you look at the price of how much it costs, and then once it gets past 6 BP, you have to divide it evenly to da-da-da. The only exception being a jail is the only 7 BP one, or a black market. So how much is a, whatchamacallit?
It's 3, so it'd just be 1 month.
So Nick, you take back 1 BP, and then we actually add onto your character sheet down here that you have 1 sawmill.
Yeah.
Which will reduce your, wait, there we go. It reduces your consumption by 1, increases your stability by 1, and gives you a little bit more population. So your stability just got a little bit better for you.
That's good.
Cool. And you no longer have to, there's no longer a weight there. Oh, shit. I just pressed refresh. So over here, we're actually going to eliminate this thing. By the way, chat, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I was actually able to find some images. Like I actually bought like assets and the custom assets for inside here. So we don't have a trillion basic assets. We only have very specific ones, including ones that pertain to kingdom building. So Cell helped me pick some out that looks nice, and we did it. So Sawmill, we went with this.
Yeah.
So that means you immediately have this here. Now you're probably going to eventually want to claim this one. I think it's right here, and build your afterwards. So you can build a sawmill instantly and start trying to prepare it to do your lumber yard as well. Thanks, Steve. All right. I think that covers what we need to go back to for Nick. Sal, before we push forward with you, going back with you, what was the most recent one that you had claimed?
I've done none.
Yep. So you're good. You're not getting anything because this one was already done for you, I think. And this one over
Yeah.
here, you actually do need to prepare. Jake, the most recent one that you claimed, I think you prepared as well, which is plain. So you get back 1 BP and that's it. Okay.
Oh, if we count last one I did, I think was this field over here, which would be just 1 BP. But that was like I think 2 turns ago. So
Yeah, you don't get it 2 turns ago. Everybody's getting back there 1 turn.
yeah, but it's 1 BP. It's
Fine, have your 1 BP.
Let's go.
All right, let's get back to your actual kingdom rolls. Sorry about the that everybody. It was pointed out that I made a mistake. I figured if we could at least retcon, 1 turn's worth, that's better than ignoring it entirely. You know what I mean? So, and we'll be on the right track moving forward. I'm not sure who discovered that. I know Sel was the one that explained it out pretty well. I think was it Last Resort that discovered it?
Yeah, Last Resort. If I'm gonna be honest, I actually remember spotting that, but then leaving it for something else, and then Last Resort reminded me to look into it more. So, thank
If
you.
I'm going to be
Last
completely
Resort.
obvious, please give me a pat on the back instead of them.
No, but thank you, Last Resort, and also Green. I'm pretty sure. I think Green said something about it too.
No, Green just made sure that justice prevailed.
I love my great Paladin Green.
All right, so let's get back to your kingdom rolls. And again, thank you everybody. Sorry about the
Just want to remind everyone that the slaver just took credit for somebody else's work, as per usual.
Oh boy.
Can we just nuke my kingdom and I just make another one?
I have a feeling it's not gonna be any different.
No, I'm gonna make an actual evil character. Okay, we're gonna go actually evil. Okay, not actually nice.
Oh boy. All right, so back to the game.
I can't play evil characters. It's okay.
Yeah, he's the one that plays Star Wars and does the first dark side option, and he's like, I can't do that.
It's probably not wrong. I haven't done dark side options yet.
I can't femship. I can't femship.
In the what do you call it? In the MMO, I played as a dark side character, but I played the light side route of the dark side in the SWTOR.
So back to kingdom rolls. So claim hexes. Were you claiming a hex there?
Maybe. Do these hexes north of me count as explored?
To cover explored, we just got back that 1 BP. To explore hexes, if you're not actively doing it yourself, there's 2 different ways to explore hexes. We're going to do this moving forward. You can hire adventurers to do it for you, in which case, if anything goes wrong, who cares? You paid the cost. That's it. You're done. Or you can actually have your marshal explore hexes for you as well as an ongoing advisor task that marshals can do for you. And the number of hexes you want to have them explore will be set the DC for how difficult it is. So let's go to Cell's Kingdom. If we look at advisor tasks down here, because again, there's that edict to pay a lot of money for somebody to do it, but and then this martial route is like a free option, but there's the penalty of God forbid you critically fail, so on and so forth. So just because you critically succeed in this doesn't mean you find something, to be clear.
Of course.
Critical 6 is borderline shut off in this. It just means that if you find something, then critical success finds it for you if there's something there.
Of course.
Moving on.
It'd be like a perception check, right? Just because you get an at 20 doesn't mean something just pops into existence that wasn't there.
Correct. So simple is for 1 hex. Average is for 2 hexes. Challenging is for 4. Hard is for 8. or so on. You know what I mean? I might make it slightly smaller than that. Maybe it's 1, 2, 3. So I haven't fully, because this is a newer thing I'm adding in to make sure that we start actually exploring hexes. And again, if you send your marshal, it just becomes dangerous.
How much?
So
BP
this is the
exploded?
last turn. Yours and Nick's turn this time is the last time we're saying you can just do it. You've explored it before now.
Oh,
But
well,
moving forward, you have to explore everything, which you
Yeah.
would do this edict phase. Go ahead, sir.
To be fair, I have explored. before.
That's screwing me over there, Scott. I'm last. I
No.
should benefit from this as well.
Was your marshal... Okay, fair enough. Yeah, because your marshal was actually preoccupied.
Yes, thank you.
Um,
Thank
I-
you.
Also, to be fair, I've sent
He
explorers.
got very
up before.
Aussie. Did you hear the Aussie come out? Like his accent really flared up there.
I'm the only one that sent explorers before, which is to my south, which is how I discovered Clan Steel.
True.
So I have paid for stuff before.
Sorry, are you asking for a
Alright.
reach around?
No.
Like
How much does explorers cost?
to pay for them?
Yeah.
It's the edict phase, and it is not cheap. It's an edict. have to
It's
scroll all the
like
way
a
up and open
D4 for certain distance.
Give me a second.
I'm looking for it.
You should start claiming your parallel territory that you, negotiated your border.
Yeah, I want to just build 2 farms this turn, and if I build one in my capital and then one to the north, there are stockyard farms. So they
Expiration
just start-
edict is 1d4 per month, paid in advance. And they start at your capital, spend the agreed upon time traveling, exploring. Now, mind you, they explore significantly more when they're doing this check than your marshal does. But the reason being, your marshal has many other responsibilities as well.
Of course.
So
yeah.
your marshal's handling those other responsibilities. God,
a
my
D4.
arm is killing me.
It would be, I would have 8 BP left after my buildings finish. It'd be 4 BP for the mountain, so I have 4 BP left open. If I get a 4 on that, which is fine. Yeah, I'll do an exploration.
And again,
edict.
as we learned with Valorant, having a little extra money sitting around is not exactly a bad thing.
Yeah. I do want to explore north, though. It's kind of a scary zone for my nation.
Okay.
So
You
I
can,
want
you can
to
always have your marshal explore north for you, though. And just like, and by the way, I literally was thinking about this since I said it. How hard it is, and how long they spend will be how many hexes it is, right? So just to be clear.
How many hexes on average can a month get?
So if you're talking about hiring explorers, they move at the rate of movement and rate of exploration. So if you're looking it up, I think you can walk across, I think it's 2 hexes a day, as well as explore, depending on, if we're talking about planes, you can walk across 2 hexes a day and explore. I think you can walk across and explore about 2 hexes a day. But when you're in
Okay.
hills and mountains, it's significantly slower.
It's like 1 hex a day or something.
I have to
that.
like check the math real quick, but approximately you can get 15 of them by paying the 1d4 BP.
Yeah, then I'll send an explorer to my north.
Sure.
to
LD,
cover-
can you roll a d4 for me? Because you're probably going to roll a 4.
I get to pick.
Mom's going to do it this time.
Okay, mom.
She still looks over your bank account, so.
Yes, LD, you've done it, my friend.
You're fired. Wow. You know why?
LD.
You know why it was? It's because I popped my Tantus' stream earlier.
Must have been.
You know, I commented on LD's comment, and then I left after like 5 minutes. That's
So,
why.
so I want them to explore basically like
You tell them north,
North.
northeast. Like, how do you want them to
yeah.
go?
I want them to like I guess
They
start.
have
from,
to start from a city.
Okay, so they have to start from my capital.
Yep.
I don't have a choice. And I want them to like explore like this.
Yep.
Well, I know this clan's over here. I want them to avoid that clan so they don't get fucking murdered.
Yep. Head northeast until you hit the edge of a clan or the hills, and then
And then-
northwest, and then cut back east, and then head back home.
Yeah. Yeah. Trying to, if they can get as far, trying to explore like the plains right outside of these hills.
Beautiful. Let me see
That's
if
what I
I
want to
actually
do.
do I have my exploration rules written inside this one. Why did I not export those rules into this? Why do I
So.
suck at being a DM?
That BP save is nice. When do my buildings finish? This
I see
after the
Kingmaker.
edict? did the buildings finish after the edict phase?
Actually, before edicts, your building's finished. It's written in the thing. I
Okay.
can check that. I'm just trying to look at this thing for you to finish up the math for what we were talking about before I move into the next one.
Okay. It's just a bunch of stuff kicks off for me, so I get to have a functioning mine.
I roll 20s is really slow.
I remove all the penalties from the locusts now.
All right, exploring and
still have.
traveling. 1 second, it's just really slow. It's painful. Bye, Steve. Check the VOD earlier. Check the VOD from earlier. We talked about you. Oh my god, sorry. Roll 20 just is painful how slow it is. All right, here we go. So the way that it's supposed to work is no, that's not what I wanted. That doesn't help. Oh my god. Oh, and technology is slow. It hurts my soul. It's literally loading text and it's taking 20 minutes. You can do it. I know you can. I'm really gonna have to copy and paste this into your game. There we go. So travel time. This is from Kingmaker, except Oh, each hex is 16 miles across, not 12. Oh, I never modified it back to what it's supposed to be. Do I need to look in Regicide? Do I seriously need to look at Regicide for the real one? Are each hex supposed to be 12 miles, not 16?
Yeah, the 12.
Yep. Okay, I'm in the wrong campaign. Oh god, we have to wait even longer. Why don't I figure out how far you're going to get afterwards?
Yeah, it doesn't matter now.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect anything.
Go ahead.
You said I do get 1 free hex though, right?
Yeah, you can assume the next one you take was already explored. Beyond that, you can't do anymore.
Yep. Okay, that's fine. So claiming a hex is 1 BP for planes.
Which one do you want?
So the one to the northwest, because farther from Volcano.
Copy, paste. Saying right here?
Yeah. It costs a BP to take a hex, right?
Correct.
All right, so it's 1 BP. So I'm at 6. Then it's how much BP to make a farm? 2?
2 or 3. Okay.
So
sure.
I'll spend 4 BP on farms on both of these hexes, my capital and the new hex. Oh wait, never mind. I do on my capital. I do 1 farm, and then I do 4 BP to start the construction of the preparations of the mountains.
Okay. So you're gonna spend all that, and then did you modify your sheet over here for the fact that you just expanded and put it down and said types for what kind of land it was? So I think it was
I'm doing it right now. So
Thank
I've
you.
got planes
So it's gonna increase your control DC.
by 1, so it's fine.
You're really not going for that plus 10, are you?
Well, stopping expansion to get a plus 10 would be silly.
Okay, I just made one that should be good for all of you. So all of you can see it now. Ignore the fact that it says exploring Paradel. I can change that in the future. But for now, at least it's the actual correct maths for you. So I'm going to show to players so you guys can see it. So again, ignore the fact that it says exploring Paradel. So it is for travel time across 1 hex, assuming that basic travelers are without horses or Axebeak, they're traveling at a speed of 30 feet. So across plains is 5 hours to travel across one. So or to explore, it takes 1 day to explore. So you have to assume, because like you can kind of walk across if you are pushing yourself 2 plains a day. It's again if you're pushing yourself because you only travel 8 hours a day, right? And you can explore 1 a day of plains. So it's kind of like every 3 days you can explore 2 plains hexes. Is more or less how it works out. So if you assume that after 30 days, they can in theory explore 20 plains hexes in theory. But then because it's also the looping back and so on and so forth, it's safer to assume 15 if they're all plains in a month. Cool.
Yeah.
Now I have that there. So back to you guys. Go ahead, sir.
So yep, and I'm starting my preparations in the mountains, and that's it. I'm out of BP.
All right, back on to the next thing for you.
I
and
have,
preparation of the mountains. I gotta put this on here for
yeah,
you.
which it's 12 BP for 4 months. So we did what? Oh, it's 3 BP per month.
Yep, and it takes 4
So-
months.
I have 1 BP left.
Cool. Next up, now that we're done, like wasting time talking about updating that stuff. So build terrain improvements. You already did all that stuff. Then it's the improvement edict is kind of where your buildings are being done. Did you already pay for all that? Yes.
Yep. everything's
Create or
paid for.
improve. Creating armies and like that. No. Yes.
Nothing. I don't have BP for it.
All right. So now it's issue edicts.
Everything is staying the same.
Okay. And then it's going to move on to taxes.
Yeah. Okay. So
And I'm gonna try with yours, Cell, for something I mentioned in chat earlier, and the Valorant chat. I'm gonna try for yours advisor tasks after taxes, to see how it feels. But it kind of like makes little sense to me. I don't know.
I think it makes sense because events happen after taxes,
Yeah.
which is what my argument was.
Yeah.
Normal, and then whatever this result is, +2 because of mines.
I think it
I rolled-
includes your +2 because of mines.
No, mines.
I'm
what
almost
mines?
positive. Hold up. If you look at your sheet and you look at your mines,
But
they reduce consumption for you. That's how they
Yes.
work.
But mines aren't supposed to reduce consumption. It's for the sheet to work better. Mines are supposed to add BP at your econ phase or at your tax collection phase.
So you're saying +2 because your consumption is currently negative.
Yeah.
Okay, I
And
understand.
I would count mines first and then farms in terms of the consumption.
So it's only +2 because your mines are technically, in theory, giving you +5.
Yeah.
But okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But the sheets don't work like that. So
No, for simplicity, of course. All right.
Yeah.
So
So that's a 39. So that's a luckable roll. Actually, that's a perfect divide.
which means you need to throw a 3 or 4 to you have a 50-50 shot to get one more BP.
Nah, it's fine. I won't waste the luck on it.
Okay.
I'll save it for someone else. I don't know how much we have.
Yeah, I actually don't know either. All right, next up is
So I have 16 BP.
now it's going to be your actual event phase. So I don't think we had any preset events for you. I think yours was actually an eventless month this time, unless a random one hit you this time. So no big opportunities came your way and no downside. This is actually a quiet month for you.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one to get a quiet month in a while. So then it's the random event roll, which for Cell's Kingdom is currently at 75% chance of event. So
Xylamos. Roll
Xylamos.
Xylamos. It's bad if it's good if high. It's good if high.
There's nothing posted inside there, I don't think, Snaga. And this is why I said I have to send you guys sheets. I was just at work earlier, so I couldn't do that at the time.
D100 Xylamos.
I'll take care of it next time, Joey,
High is good.
because I haven't given you guys a sheet to make it easier. Oh, wait, they're pinned? Hold up.
I have an event.
Yes, you do. Hold on. Let me check this other one before we continue with Xylamos. Joey's saying they're pinned.
Should have picked the middle.
The middle's the hardest one to define the ranges for. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find my... The hell's my skimmer chat? Oh, there you are. Because I have to make sure it's not the ones... There's... That one's already done. That one's already done. Oh, I don't think we did that one. Okay, so actually, I think you had 2?
Oh God. One's good, right?
Yeah, I actually I don't remember these because it's been so long since they got posted here. One's from April 6th. Jesus Christ, I missed this from April 6th.
April 6th.
And the other one's from April 6th. So you give me a moment.
Sad.
Okay, so you actually have so after you return back from the mines, and it's kind of like reporting on all the crazy details that had transpired there, so on and so forth. You're gonna eventually get kind of like called upon by your peoples to speak about kind of things that are going on. It's like you call together one of your council meetings that you typically do, right? Excuse me. You call together your council meetings as you typically do. It's actually your high priest that's going to chime up first in this one. I'm pulling up Clan Shadow right now. These are fun. Clan Shadow's high priest is... Oh, that's right. Rima. I love Rima. That was, I think, made by Roz. It was made by Roz. So you have Rima, who is there, who's coming in. So Rima says, Warlord Kushibashi, there's a strange happening in our nope.
You mixed
Shadow.
your warlords
So
up?
Warlord Shadow. There's a strange happening in our town. There's actually this elderly group of. Oh, actually, I could do one of these. Well, let's see if this makes it better. There's an elderly group.
No, I can barely understand you. Okay, you gotta just.
There's an elderly group.
I listen, Scott. Just I need comprehension here. Okay.
There's an elderly group of Karak and gathering in crowds in the middle of town. They're condemning the Order of the Broken Train. They are making lots of claims against them. While we are certainly no friends to the Broken Chain, as you know my opinions of those bastards, some of these claims seem a little bit out there, even from my perspective. They're honestly trying to rally others, trying to bring them to rally up against them. Now, while we may not be huge fans of the Broken Chain, she says, kind of making the assumption of everybody around her, there are a few members of our clan that are, and it does seem like it's going to cause a bit of a problem. More importantly, not only are they causing a bit of discomfort for those that do have terrible beliefs, they're also calling you out, Warlord. Your inability or lack of resolve to take appropriate action is something that is directly being called for.
They desire me to persecute those of the Broken Chain?
Well, me personally, I suggest that it's not a bad idea to aid them in recruiting. The Broken Chain are terrible, and they'll likely be back, and strengthening our citizens' resolve to prepare to resist them is a good idea. But perhaps guiding them away from these imagined slights and focusing more on the ones that are genuine. Making sure that any complaints that we have are real, but at the same time, preparing ourselves for the inevitable. Because let's be honest, the Broken Chain are... Have you ever met one that was even worth treating with? Even if we do allow them to work in our minds?
I do not hold grudges against those of different faiths than ours.
Well,
Our
then...
nation is one of free, of people's wills. We do not force upon anyone. And this must be heard. We will not force the destruction of those who worship the Broken Chain and follow its tenets.
So before, kind of jumping on that, Gorza actually chimes in and says, honestly, I agree. Talk them down. Persuade them why it is that you made these decisions. Why you chose to go about things the way that you did. I mean, you have taking appropriate action. I think we can all, for the most part, agree on the direction that we've taken, even if there were arguments at the time. We're unified moving forward. Speak to them. Dissuade them. I can, of course, handle that for you. The Royal Enforcer, who for you does not exist. You don't have one, do you?
Atelia Todd.
Oh, sorry. She's both. She's both
Yeah.
Spymaster and Royal Enforcer. So, because there's a double thing here. Atelia actually says, I don't know. I see we can go about this a couple of ways. We can crack down on them. We can't allow them to continue to disrespect Tessel. I mean, let's be honest. Tessel, the Warlord, she says Tessel. Then she says, the Warlord has has guided us right ever since he's even taken this spot. Certainly a hell of a lot better than the others. And what would you rather? Be with Densho, where you're eating people? Nah, this is the way it's supposed to be. I see we get some soldiers together, and we, say, break up the chains that they've put around themselves at this point. Either that, or maybe some interesting rumors. Perhaps we could sift through those claims and see if we find something that's actually legitimate amongst them. I mean, hell, we could maybe even use some of those rumors. Allow them to do their thing, sure. I do kind of lean towards cracking their heads in. If we do find some stuff along the way, maybe we can use it against Broken Chain when they return.
Okay, so my options are my what is it? My consular, my half tender Gorza, or beat the shit out of people in the streets.
Yep.
Something like I think.
Or listen to the rumors.
Or listen to the rumors. Okay.
I assume you're not beating the shit out of them or aiding them. So
no, that's not happening.
Yep.
So we're going with Gorza because Tessa
now,
would want them
before
to be
you
top.
totally make your decision. This is going to take 2 weeks to do, and it's a
Okay.
challenging task.
Am I allowed to know the other things that are coming forwards before?
And
making
it's
the
a
decision?
loyalty task, which for you is a plus or
It's
minus
fine.
nothing. Challenging is a DC 16. I can tell you the other one before you make the full decision on this,
Okay.
of course. So challenging is DC 16. So like for instance, you're leaning towards Gorza immediately. She has a +6. That's pretty solid. That's a 55% chance without luck dice. You know what I mean? And your Royal Enforcer / your Tailbearer is a 5. And your
So
High Priest is a 6 as well. So, all right, now the next one. So while you more or less respond with, allow me to contemplate how I want to handle that sort of a situation. This one would be, who's going to speak to you on this one? Oh, I think you only gave me one option. Give me 1 second. Nope. I see the rest of it.
Okay,
Holy shit,
okay.
there's a lot here. So for you, it'd be Ember Keeper. Speaks up on this one. This one would be Rima. Speaking up. Oh, Rima again. Oh, no. Sorry. Different people use different words for this. Sage. Who's Sage? Lenny.
that is Lenny.
Okay.
Haha.
So Lenny's going to speak up and say, so a troop of performers actually came to the capital. They're fire dancers. They worship Kraleen. They call themselves the Dancing Cinders. The interesting part is they're actually originally from the Dale Lands, but they've traveled all across the area, learning magic and kind of trying to work it together. You see, they're trying to incorporate the Paradel bardic magics that come out of Bard, and he says like Bard to everybody, expecting people to know what it is. It's a part of Paradel where they learn to use magic through the voice. Never mind.
I've read books.
I've read books. It's like Mary Had a Little Lamb. He's like, as a reminder for you guys, Litomycil is the unique fighting style that exists inside Kajinxi, trying to combine bardic magic of Paradel and Kajinxi's Litomycil combat style into their fiery performances. This is really, really, really unique because, I mean, they could be onto something here. Imagine a troop of people fully trained and the ability to just fluidly move around a battlefield the way the Litomycil combat style is, while utilizing the fluidity and grace of a bardic mage. I mean, that could certainly make for, one could see what could happen of that. Well, anyways, the troop became fascinated with the Order of Tanzo, which has some similar values to theirs, apparently. And speaking with Montaro, the troop are now debating amongst themselves if they should adhere to their ways of traveling Aroth, or maybe start setting some roots here in the capital. The thing is, I don't know which is the best way of going about it. That being said, Lenny says, I mean, from my understanding, the troop could the troop could actually be used as arcane teachers. I'd have to check their paperwork, make sure they're all on the up and up, run it by the Arcane Congress and whatnot. But again, truth be told, if they have everything working for them, they could actually teach others properly in the ways of bardic magic. That's something that does not exist outside of I forget the name of the gnomish nation because of the U.
Eustace.
Eustace, or even specifically the region of Paradel known as Bard. It doesn't exist anywhere else. This would make us almost like a mini microcosm standing outside of the norms. A microcosm is like a unique small ecosystem. Never mind. And then he says it could certainly assist us. I'm not sure how smoothly things would go, but it'd be this first step in achieving goals of bringing more magic to Kajinxi, he says, knowing his own personal objectives. You know what I mean? And the Ember Keeper kind of speaking up, saying they've shown interests in the Order of Tanso, so maybe appealing to an even greater calling might bring them into the fold, but perhaps offering them positions as temple guards, dedicated themselves to protecting people from danger. I mean, honestly, the broken chain is going to come back, as we've already discussed. Having people that know a little bit of magic, as well as the ability to fight, wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing to protect our people. It's an opportunity that we might be able to lean them towards. You see Lenny, as soon as she's talking about like indoctrinating them into the faith, Lenny very clearly wears a face. Like, you know what I mean? And it's funny because, again, to be clear, your Ember Keeper, she's not one very heavily into pushing faith. She's very much people find faith and then you teach it to them. She does not promote faith. She's the only reason why she would even mention this is because they have already shown interests of their own. Your Hearth Tender, Gorza again, says, hold on. So Gorza has a, I'm going to actually go off the rails for this one. Gorza actually has like an affinity for magic. So Gorza herself is also a quite capable combatant. I don't know if you recall this or not, but Gorza is...
She's a fighter, right? With a familiar?
She is a fighter, an Eldritch Guardian specifically. So she's a fighter with a familiar that has a strong affinity towards magic, even if she herself cannot cast it. So kind of off the rails on this one. She goes, I don't know, Warlord Tessel, this is an opportunity. Warriors that can combine the grace of some type of magic, as well as the grace of the Littlemysil fighting style. This is something that we should embrace. This is something that we should embrace completely in its whole, and it's something that our people would truly love. I mean, imagine them trying to recruit others instead of school. If we were to fund them having a school to teach this type of style, they would put on almost like performances, like you know, the occasional puppet shows you would see that done for children during holidays and things like that, or the other shows that you would see happening in the north. Displays of magic and its grace to the people would really entice them. I think this is an opportunity we don't want to pass up on. And then lastly, your war chief, I would chime in and say, who's your war chief again? Your brother.
Aito.
They've proven themselves as expert swordsmen in Littlemysil, a combat style that we all know is very popular, even if very few can master it. And he actually does a nod over to Tessel, because Tessel is someone who's well on his way to mastery of Littlemysil, because it is a dex-based combat style. Perhaps using the troop to form a new honor guard dedicated to protect the warlord, that could be valuable as well. Perhaps even training future honor guards as well. So to recap this, your warlord is saying, train them as soldiers, magic fall by the wayside. Ember Keeper is saying, trade them as like faith people, leaning towards faith aspect of them as for defending like the culture of the people. Your Sage is saying, let's train them in magic, and they can train others in magic. And your Hearth Tender is saying, let's have both of them combined. All right.
Yeah. So They're both in
Oh,
combined.
there's a
as in,
forge
like-
piece one that's separated from them. Haha.
Oh,
Sorry. That's the one that was actually linked, so it was beneath the it was above the rest of them, so it's kind of
Yeah.
disjointed. Sorry.
give me what Jorman says. Oh, right.
Clinch, Jorman. Clan Shadow has been open to outsiders, willing to share religious arts in the past to most. I don't see why they must put an end to it, even if they decides to make capitals home. Let Clan Shadows become their patron, creating the materials and crafts for performance. In return, set up permanent stage, theaters. Here entertain. Not brings ins, there's guards. Not makes teaches. They do's what they do's best. They do's their art. And they do their arts because it's passion. And brings commerce. Because passion is where fire lies.
Okay. Yeah. So for the first, so can I get like a copy paste of the options so I can remember them?
Nope.
No.
So option number 1, you had 4 options. Counselor, High Priest, or one of the 2 options from Atelia. So,
Okay.
and I think you were going Counselor. And
Probably, yeah.
Your Counselor is your Hearth Tender, which immediately locks out your Hearth Tender from the other option.
Which was also the better option, I think, right?
Correct, because this is going to be a 2-week one. Well, technically speaking, you can have her do both. 2 weeks
Okay.
and 2 weeks. It just means that she won't be active for your next upkeep phase.
Which isn't the worst. What was her part of in the Fire Guys one?
And the
It's,
Fire Guys one, she was let them learn both their magic and their dance to teach the people and to attract the people.
Yeah.
To continue
so basically,
doing, like, more or less, let's put this in layman's terms, sword dancers.
okay. And then what's Lenny's in layman's terms? Just bards or like
Lenny's in
scalds?
layman's terms is actually, teaching magic in general.
Yeah. Which
It's more or less
I-
upgrading you guys from, I don't know how I categorize it, but from like red to like brown or whatever my color was on the magic chart. I don't think
Yeah,
knows what that is.
I think I want to heavily go into the magic. Like Tessel is a big reader ever since he was a kid, right? And I imagine he's read stories of these bards in Paradel and the way they use magic to make like, like magic to sing, and like the music fills the air and it's like magically powerful. Like that's kind of like a dream of his to have for his people.
You guys are currently red, and you're more or less trying to bring yourself to orange. Because Nick, here's the link. I'll throw it in chat for everybody. This is the link of what I'm talking about. And then like the kind of like middle left of the first page, it says national magic level. Kajigsi is red. And it goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue. And what those words mean, if you actually look right above it, ML or magic level, tells you what neophyte, adroit, savant, and preeminent means. All right, so you're saying you want to lean towards Lenny. So Lenny's thing is more or less like, if you're going Lenny's route, to be clear, assuming he succeeds, you're going to build a building that would be beneficial to teaching of magic, so on and so forth. But we're not talking about a magic academy, which is like 30 BP or something like that. It's
Yeah,
something a little bit smaller.
I got a library right now, which might help a bit.
Mhm.
So I think I wanna
how do
go
you
for
want to
Lenny.
play this out? Lenny's?
For second one for Lenny, and then first one we're gonna do Gorza.
Okay, so we're going to have you roll for the Gorza one first. Thank you, Joey, so much for reminding me of those. I honestly forgot that those existed, and I genuinely appreciate it, sir. So for the Old Town Criers, you're going to go with Gorza for this one. I already told you it's challenging, which is a DC 16. You'll be rolling a 1d20 with +6, but let me read Gorza. Gorza focuses on loyalty. Ooh. Gorza focuses on talk them down, persuade them, reasonableness, action. Gorza gets a +2 on this one. It's a focus.
Let's go. +8.
Yeah.
/1.
And mind you, her magical insight would have been a really good one for the other one.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I like the idea of them being focused more on teaching the magic than just teaching the dancing and magic combined, right?
Yeah, well, again, it's the idea of like almost like a song plays or whatever.
Oh, nat 20, critical success.
Did you really nat 20 this?
I just done nat 20.
Oh my
This is
god.
great. Okay, and next one is
This is
Lenny.
no, hold up. This is the
Okay.
Gorza one. You just got a nat 20 on.
Yeah, of course.
That's amazing. Hold on, let me look at your sheet because
Yeah.
that's really important.
That's fantastic.
So with a natural 20, a critical success on this one, because it was challenging, that's plus I think 12 you beat it by.
Yeah,
you
by
get
a
a-
good margin.
Yeah, you get a permanent plus 2 to no, sorry, this is the critical success. A permanent plus 3 to your loyalty score on that one.
God. You know, I was complaining about no permanent modifiers, but I guess I was took a couple
A
days
regu-
too soon.
A regular success would have been a plus 1. So a permanent plus 3 to your loyalty on that one. That is a huge boom. Boom.
I mean,
sorry.
It makes sense because my people are supposed to be loyal to me, you motherfuckers.
Yep. So and then next one is supposed to be
Magister.
Yep, give me 1 second. I'm looking at their suggestion for how tough the event is. I actually and you're going with who? Lenny?
Lenny.
Funny enough, I actually, because of what you're asking them to do, they were suggesting simple or average. To me, this also sounds challenging because you're also asking them to kind of like lay down their
lives.
yeah. They're contemplating of their own, but you also try to convince them to do it and to alter what it is they're planning on doing to do more. So Lenny has a +9 against a 16. Again, odds are in your favor. Lenny's focus is ambition. Oh, I already said this specifically works towards the
Lenny.
goals of what I want to accomplish, which is to bring magic to the region. You get a friggin' focus on this one too.
So
Oh my
plus
god,
11.
you get a +11 on a 16. That is broken as fluff. That is crazy. Oh my god.
I rolled a no.
Yes! Yes!
Wait. Nat ones don't count. I can roll. No, I can't.
Wait, did you guys choose criticals?
Yeah, but we don't count them for this.
Oh, that's right. Naturals for kingdom rolls, for advisor checks, do they count? I don't think they
I
do.
really wanted.
Hold on, for kingdom rolls, it only counts as a -10.
Yeah, but we don't count them.
Advisor rolls. They
They don't.
do because did not I roll a natural one for my with the
because-
Giants?
Hold on. Roll natural one with the Giants, and I think for you, Jake, it was just because it was a critical success, correct?
Or critical
critical
failure,
failure,
as in
maybe.
less than 7. Because there's a critical failure and success table on the advisor tasks.
Correct. So actually,
Right.
I don't know if natural 1s or 20s are linked to advisor tasks. I honestly don't think they are. Yeah.
I don't think they are either. It wouldn't make much sense.
kinda
I'm pretty
works out
sure
better.
that I've gotten some natural ones on some advisor tasks, and I've gotten critical failure.
I mean, I'm.
That's
But was it
that's
critical failure because it was natural 1 or critical failure because
less than 7.
or because it was you were off by 7?
I
No,
think
no,
it's because
reroll
it's
is not
off by
possible
7.
in this.
Yeah. Probably
Everyone's
the
sad.
less than 7 thing, I'd say.
I'm gonna luck it. If I get a 4, I hit 16.
So hold on. Let's just be clear because we need to be consistent across the board, not just because of what's good for the moment.
Yeah.
Critical natural 1s and natural 20s matter for everything in the PC level, and even in the kingdom rolls where it's not supposed to be a factor, we make it a factor for the sake of +10 or -10 to your result, and then beyond that we have for mass combat. We also had it be a factor here and there and everywhere. So to not have it be a factor in advisor tasks almost seems like a strange nitpick.
But
Am I
I
wrong?
would say the only reason is because you have the critical failure and success table, right? Because then we're doubling up on critical failure and success, right? Where you not only can critically fail from rolling a 1 or succeed from
Yeah.
a 20, it's also by getting less than or over than 7, right? We're double dipping into the same critical success and failure pool, right? Is there extra failure if you critically fail and get less than a 7? And is it extra success, or is it just one or the other, right?
I am definitely willing to concede to this point. Absolutely willing to concede to this point.
I'm lucking it because
I
I, can still hit a
agree with
16.
you, Sal.
Yep, I actually very much
There's
agree.
no luck, you motherfuckers. I gave you so long. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, and there's actually no luck in there at all. Yep. There was a Winifred's Wisdom that was given to Valoran. So It's not even for you.
You guys saying reroll impossible. You didn't even think of putting luck in the pool.
Yep. Sorry.
Dude, that's fucking so sad. I wanted so badly to get magic. It's been my goal for so long.
Wow, Magoo. Wow. So is this a critical failure?
No, it's a normal.
A normal failure? Oh, because if you go to 94, you would have actually you would have succeeded. That's what the plan is.
That's why I wanted to roll the luck.
Gotcha. So this was an opportunity, not a problem. And with the failure, slaves can't have magic knowing. Oh, that sucks. Poor Lenny. Lenny goes there. So you know what ends up happening is Lenny ends up coming back afterwards and being like, Warlord, I have bad news. They don't have the appropriate paperwork to be teachers of the art. And when I told them I'd be more than happy to process that paperwork with expedition and whatnot, and that I even offered that our clan would help cover the costs, not entirely, but help cover the costs of doing so. Well, they were very much dissuaded by hearing that it would take at least 4 months for us to get a response from the Arcane Congress for the approvals. That was too long. You know, we can hope that sometime in the next half year to year,
there's
maybe
times
they
to
return.
break rules, Lenny.
No, not with the Arcane Congress.
They would never hear of it unless you said it.
Warlord, I respect you deeply, and hope that we can call each other friends. But this is something that I can't do.
We're always friends, Lenny. Friends can be annoyed.
But friends also shouldn't ask each other to break their own oaths.
You're right. You're right. It's fine, Lenny. Hopefully we can try to contact them at a later date and offer more goods.
Yeah, I'll figure I might as well. You know, I got more than half their names before they started asking questions, and maybe I can at least start the processing or something now. And
you can't start the
I
process
can-
without their permission.
yeah,
You just said
he just
your
takes the
oaths.
papers and just kind of like drops them into a fire nearby.
Remember, you can't break your oaths. That would be against your rules, I'm sure.
Yep, head hung low. He walks out of the chambers. However, walking in with a toothy grin on her half-orc face, Gorza walks in and is like, Warlord Tessel, I have news for you. The people completely understand. They just needed it to be explained to them. Listen, I've already got them primed up. I've already explained to them everything. They're all very excited. They even heard the rumor that there might be more magic in town lately. Things are going to go great. I can't wait. You just go and talk to them. I have them all primed up. You're just going to give a speech tomorrow evening. We'll have you set up for you to go and have kind of like a meet and greet throughout the clan. So you can, shake babies and kiss hands or whatever it is. It'll go great.
I don't believe we'll have any magic, sadly, within the realm for some time.
She just
Unless
looks like she just has like those like Puss in Boots eyes. Like,
it seems they did not like the idea of waiting for the Arcane Congress's rules, and we must abide by them. If we try to gain the prowess of magic and the gift it brings to our nation. If you could run a letter quickly to those bands, give them a letter or a message saying if they ever needed a place to stay, Clan Shadow will always give it to them. And if they ever chose to settle, we'll provide them anything they require.
She does that for you. However, Lenny's failure is so upsetting for her that she has a -1 on her next advisor task. I have it marked on the sheet.
That's fine.
That's the penalty for the failure, is a -1 on her next advisor task because she was so disappointed. All right.
Fair.
Now we're back to the fact that you are getting an event this month. Who is
Swirl Wizard? I want him to do it. I don't know who he is. He's in chat. He's a cool kid, probably.
Why are you assuming a wizard or a swirl is a guy? Why are you assuming?
I said
Why are you
I didn't.
assuming?
I said he was. I assume he's a cool kid.
He's a cool kid. See, I don't know, man.
True. I'm fucking bad.
I don't know, man. I don't
Wow,
know.
that's my
it's
bad.
Pretty sus. Even though he is gender neutral in the English language, you know, it's the default. I'm pretty upset.
No, I should have been they. You're right. My bad. That is
Yep.
my fault. I'll take my L.
Yeah,
Plaster.
we're trying to update the English language. Thank you. Ugh, the worst.
Roll me. Yeah, thank you. What's
Alright,
the 34?
events.
Is that bad?
Events.
It feels bad.
All right. So, anyways, the 34. I got it right here. 34 is a dangerous kingdom
I
event.
know. I remember rolling it for Valorant.
All right. Who's gonna roll the dangerous kingdom event for you?
Viking.
Viking's gonna roll it. Viking, give me a good one. Viking, come on. Oh boy.
I'm picking the latest person in chat every time.
Wow. So when it's his turn, just talk fast and often. I wanted to ruin things. A 35.
That doesn't sound good.
It's a food shortage.
We just built a new fucking farm.
Well, apparently you had crop failure or something. All right, food shortage. Spoils, treachery, or bad luck has caused a food shortage this turn. Attempt a stability check. If you succeed, consumption in the next upkeep phase increases by 50%. If you fail, consumption in the next upkeep phase increases by 100%. So it's a stability check for you. Don't roll a natty one,
50%.
otherwise you wait, hold up.
Yeah, I
You
need
need
to update
pl-
my sheet. But
Is your sheet updated?
I'm updating it right now.
Oh, because I don't know what your control is at the moment.
35. I still have to roll a natty one to fail.
And did you add the new thing onto your tile types owned?
Yep. Everything's added. Yeah, one extra plant. Yep, everything's added. So I'm rolling a stability check, so I'll roll a upkeep phase.
Si, senor.
Okay, it's fine.
So you
50%.
succeed. So plus 50% to your oh wow.
Current consumption. So is it my what's getting increased by 50%?
That's funny because it's a negative number and it doesn't say what to do if it's a negative number. I assume it's the requirements that increases
So
by
my-
50%. So if you look at say size plus edicts plus district plus army, all equals how much is that? 14, 15, 16, 20.
20.
So plus 10 and you already have a -2, so it's you're going to owe 8 next turn.
That is very not fun
Yeah, that's a terrible one.
because now I'm minusing. I'll just write it down below with all my other little notes. -8.
Okay.
There you go.
Cool. Let us move on. You're done. You're down to only a 25% chance of an event next turn. And was there anything else for? I think we're good.
Do I get any benefits for getting success with the salamanders for my kingdom, or is that just the other benefits I get?
Oh, let me get back to you on that one.
There's
I want.
tunics.
Whoa. Hi, Nick.
Hey.
It switched to you guys are sitting now. Hold on. We're good now. Nick, you okay?
He's doing some mitosis.
Oh, I prefer meiosis. Are there 4 Nicks now? Oh. Nick, are you okay?
I'm feeding the slaves, okay? Oh wait, I'm not because there isn't any. Fucking rolled.
Can Nick not hear us? Is Nick just like a camera on loop? He's actually just kind of like spanking it while the camera is just being fed through like a little video. It's like one of these. Hold on, where is it? Oh, I don't know if I have them anymore. Oh, where did I have those? Ugh, I don't remember where they are anymore. Hold on. I can't even find them.
Shouldn't the mountain ticker be on 3, not 4?
There we go. Like this one. Like one of these, but like if he stepped off the frame. So it just does it for him.
Oh,
There we go. Yeah, I know. It's been a while.
that is. Hey, when is the shirt merch coming out?
Yeah, yeah. If and whenever. I really wish I could too. Like I really wish I could, but unfortunately, you know. All right, back to game. Nick, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. You actually had some legitimate stuff that you wanted to take care of for your kingdom. Do you remember, aside from just your upkeep phase, which your roles, which you need to do? Do you remember what it was that you wanted to take care of with the people to the north, or whatever the hell else it was you were working on? Or did you just be like, no, I'm just going for my phase. There's nothing else I really needed to knuckle into.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're kind of turtling up here. I need to get some things resolved
Okay.
inside. I think for this round, what's happening is I'm building a wall. I believe in Shinrotar. My pier is getting completed there as well, and I'm going to start construction on a mansion. That was my goals. Also, I've got something that says I get 2 farms for 1 BP next round because
Oh,
of
that's
an
right, because
event. Yeah.
you like crushed it in that event that was given to you by Green. And so since Cell was the one that actually had 2 events for him this time, you actually going to be the one with the boring thing this time around. So you actually have no events happening to you this time. It's just the calm before the storm. That's all it is, Nick.
Of course.
It's so funny. I'm so
Of course.
choppy now because I have a video on as my background instead of just a plain image. Let me go back.
Sorry, good timing. My other headset just died, so
Oh, that's what you were doing. Gotcha. Okay.
yeah.
So anyways, I was like, why isn't he responding? We're making fun of him. All right. So Nick, then, I think in that case, we're just going to kind of jump into your kingdom phase, but then didn't you also want to have a little bit of RP with either, Zara or, what's her name?
Azug.
Karzug. Yeah. Didn't you want to have RP with either Zara, Karzug, or both?
So Zara is kind of graduating to be a real character. So
Oh,
with
that's
this
right. Are you
level-
explaining why? Because this is huge.
Yeah.
All right,
So
please.
with this level we just got, I get my class feature aides de camp, which is basically a reskinned version of leadership. Comes in a level early. There's some caveats. So my followers can only be full bad classes. So thank you to Snaga for he's doing some great work right now building Zara out. So she will be a full PC type hero class soon, which I'm really excited for because that small kind of strike force thing I think I'm going to keep sinking funds into.
Which one's becoming the aide de camp?
Zara.
Or the aide de camp? Zara is? Okay, cool. And she's becoming a second level because she has to be 4 levels beneath you, correct?
Correct.
Cool. I mean, I won't lie. It's a really cool class feature. And at level 12, you get another one, which is amazing. So
Yes.
now, does this mean you also now have followers as of now, or do you not get those until 7th level?
No, I get followers.
Okay, and Snaga actually said that he's going to do it?
Yep.
Snaga, can you do me a favor? I don't know what's easier for you for the sake of building, if you have like a different format you use, or if you want me to just throw a character sheet into this game and give you a link so you can control that character sheet in this game and build it for him on here. What's easier for you? You let me know, Joey. Nick, did you calculate out your leadership score yet? Because I'm curious what that is.
I have not.
Okay, so why don't we actually go ahead and open up with calculating out your leadership score? Man, this I have to say this campaign is the most like rulesy campaign out of any of them I've done on stream ever. And to me, this is like the mini game within D&D for me, for my entire childhood, for up until 5e existed, has always been these kind of things existing. So like, I love this shit. And so it's kind of, this is like that thing where the viewers have to decide, I like Pathfinder and like going down this hard rabbit hole, or, oh God, give me 5e, please. But I love this shit. So I'm going to try to pull up this so everybody can see what I'm looking at as well. I do apologize. There's a million ads that are going to pop up because it's on Firefox instead of on...
Yeah, I have it pulled up right now.
Oh, God, ads will pop up like crazy. It's so annoying. because I don't have
Your
ad
leadership
blocker. On my
scores-
I should
your
just get
leader-
ad blocker on Firefox. Go ahead.
Your leadership score is going to be pretty good.
So let's actually start with how this leadership score works for you, Nick. So the basic leadership score is going to be your character level, which is a 6, right? And then on top of that, you're going to have your charisma modifier, which I believe is a +3, correct?
Yep.
Which gets you to a 9. Then beyond that, there's going to be other factors. Basic factors are going to be like great renown, which I would not say your character has great renown. You're not that renowned quite just yet. Fairness and generosity, I would say, yeah, your character has fairness and generosity for him. We can give you that +1. So that's a 10. You don't have special power. You currently don't have failure, aloofness, or cruelty. None of those are a thing. As for cohort stuff, we can ignore that because it doesn't matter yet. Do you have a stronghold, base of operations, or guild house? Of course you do. So there's a +2. So it's a 10. Do you move around a lot? No. Have you caused the death of other followers yet? Yet no. So that's currently a 12. I'm glad I'm getting ads for my new favorite bra. That's so much fun. I'm loving these. Like, oh God, I really need to get.
Hey, that's based out of your browser history.
Yeah, it's because I have a wife, dude.
Sure.
Do you use this, your Gmail account?
Actually, yeah. My Daelric Gmail account is linked to my laptop, as it's the one that's most used. Ugh, ads everywhere, so annoying.
That's
It's one of those things too where you also don't want things that are too specific for like towns or whatever ads to pop up. Anyway, so back to your thing, Nick. So you're at a 12 for that right there, which is wonderful. Now, do you have any other things that give you bonuses on this? Like, for instance, do you have how many?
Let's take a look.
there's traits that do it. There's racial abilities or traits that do it. And then-
Do you have something from you? Yeah. Do you have a racial feature that does it? I thought you did.
I've got natural ruler, which
Which is what?
attributes, modifier, score, tree. The leadership roll calls, ability scores affect your kingdom's attributes.
Man, Joey's
your
addicted to drawbacks. He's like Nick. He's like us back in the day with flaws.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. So let's see. That wouldn't do it. So natural ruler gives you nothing for your for this. Not
The
paired
only-
up. No.
No. Natural ruler. Hold on. Your score affected the kingdom's attributes. Your modifier for this ability is treated as 2 higher.
Yep, not that.
natural born leader is, I think, the only trait that affects the leadership score, and I have that.
Which he has. So that's a +1 to leadership. So 12 becomes a 13. But I think he also has this, which is a +2 bonus to the leadership score.
Yes.
No, +1 to +2 on diplomacy profession as well as their leadership score. So that 13 becomes a 15.
Oh, nice.
So I think you have a 15 total leadership score.
And this increases your leadership bonus, I think, right? You get
That's-
+1.
That is a leadership bonus.
Oh, he already added that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So I think you have a
was thinking
15 total. So the reason why this matters, Nick, is because of the 15 total. This means that for followers, you have 20 first level, 2 second level, and 1 third level, quote, follower. And again, the reason why that matters is because when you're talking about like an elite army that you might have, you can actually have effectively and this is why they're probably going to grab leadership as well. You can have kind of like your royal guard or your royal army can be this group of more or less a free army because they don't require of you. They do it out of fealty to you as opposed to the state, right? So it actually stands slightly separated from the typical rules of having an army. So it's kind of like you have to imagine having a free specialized army. Now I have to look at army sizes again real quick to see if 20 is a group size. I don't
It is.
recall. 20 is a
Yep.
group size?
Yeah,
And
that's
It's 1, 5, 10, 20, 50.
So 20, so those first level of followers of yours would
it's
be
platoon.
So you would have a platoon of Royal Guard. That's more or less a free group for you. And we're talking like you don't pay consumption on them while they're active, while they're inactive, or anything. This is why the leadership feat is something that inevitably every one of them will get. But like, for instance, Jake's probably not getting at level 7. He's probably getting at level 9 or some shit like that. You know what I mean? It happens eventually.
I technically got a predecessor feat at level 5, so it upgrades at level 7.
Oh, okay. Which feat was that?
That's Squire.
Oh, that's right. Which is where your brother comes from. But it also has its own little hiccups in there to make it do that.
Yeah, my brother needs to do something. Needs to fight a creature 1v1, but I think we agreed he would do like an army combat to prove himself.
Exactly. And Jake, do you already have plans for leadership yet, or is that not in the works yet for you? Out of curiosity.
Yeah, I do.
You do? Cool. What level were you thinking?
I'll probably take it on at 7.
Oh, okay, cool. So both of you guys are probably getting next level. And so these kind of numbers apply to you as well. And again, Jake might make sure it applies here too. Okay.
Yep, I know.
So wow. Sorry. she
I
had
think
that
I think we discussed this before about leadership.
Sound like my wife responding.
I mean, you did it to her.
I know. I deserve the attitude I get from her. And Nick, as for that second level and third level followers that you get from that, those should be people that you put into important positions that you have inside of your kingdom. So what positions could those be? You have these different armies. One of them should be a statted, built out character that should actually run like one of your other armies for you, right? Or you could actually have like, you made level 3 character that I've got. They don't run an army. Instead, they actually handle this watchtower. So whoever is in this watchtower, they are always, this is the commanding officer of that watchtower, no matter what soldier happens to be there. You know what I mean? Or what commander happens to be there. Or maybe my level 3 character is actually the mentor. It's my person that's actually super focused on training my soldiers. Or you can get really niche with like kind of like the fun little side stuff you can do. Like, let's say, this is the best baker ever. Well, maybe not that lame. But you can kind of go down any rabbit hole you want. It doesn't just have to be commanders in your military, right?
I have a question that matters for this. What is the CR of a level 1 fighter?
A level 1 fighter? I think it's 1/2.
Okay. Well, that just matters because these guys would be worse than a trained army of the same size.
What do you? Oh, because the trained army are level 2 fighters.
Yep.
But that's okay. It's his royal guard that he has for free, and they get better as he goes, right?
Yeah, I would just want to make that clear. So like, when you're calculating these armies, it's half CR, so it affects the ACR differently.
Yep. Which again, fine, because free army, they help out with a little side things, so on and so forth. They'll be hyper specialized, blah blah blah. All right, cool, Nick. Now you know what you can do. You can kind of think about that stuff throughout the week, whatever it is, and we can worry about that later on. 15. Wow. And you might want to write next to your Ada Camp thing, score 15 or something like that. That way you don't forget about it.
I got it noted on my sheet with
Perfect.
the rest of my army info. So.
Cool. Thank you, sir. Actually, if you look at Nick's sheet, Nick actually has a lot of shit on his sheet. Not only does he have his 2 towns on here, he has all of his army stuff on here, which slightly needs to be updated because we just changed the ruling a little bit on him. He has ambassadors. He has his plan on here. He has all sorts of stuff. I won't lie. Ano's hurt my eyeballs a little bit, but
Ano's on crack.
Dude, yeah, Ano's was painful. Like I legitimately did not enjoy looking at his.
It's a furry harem. Nice
knowing Jake, oh my god. Wow.
I didn't realize Green supported your harem lifestyle, Jake.
Well, no, hey, listen, you don't know what Green was like back in the day. Green could have been a what do you call roadies? Is that what they're called? Nick, roadies?
You're talking about boomer
Groupies?
stuff, man.
Huh? Talking about groupies?
No, roadies aren't roadies the groupies that followed bands from place to place to place.
Well, roadies are the ones that will set up all the equipment.
Oh, that's right. And groupies were the ones that followed them around.
Correct.
There you go. All right.
Those people really need to get lives.
Yeah.
Well, they have a life. It's called
following some
groupie.
dude around. I don't know.
Have you evaluated what you do with your free time?
I mean,
it's like don't cast a stone. Never cast a stone.
Listen. I'll cast a stone. Playing D&D is a great social activity.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
it's probably not great for my mental health after all the insults I get and the lies.
Again, I love watching the 64-year-old I work with talk about how much young people can't put down their phones while on her phone all day. Like I love it. It just makes me happy.
My mom says it while she's on like Facebook.
Yep.
I'm like, Mom.
Yep.
Like at least I'm on the computer talking to people actively, okay?
It's
all
so
I say.
funny. Yeah, it's like people talking about being misinformed while reading QAnon. It's like, okay.
You physically hurt me.
don't throw stones. All right. So, anyways, back to you, Nick. If there was nothing else you wanted to do, we can get into your kingdom rules.
Yeah.
This was your opportunity to have spotlight because you got ignored all of last session. Like it seems like Jake is going to be this session, or all of Kingmaker.
What are you talking about? Jake got to slay a fat pig. He was good. He was happy with it. It's that single life.
He also ruined Scott's name, which is more important, okay?
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right
wow.
back to do the kingdom rules.
You broke Scott.